Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what? Hey, hold transmission because my daughter is totally going to lift off as I start this video. She's going to be very angry. We will deal with that along in the way. But I am full of happiness and joy, and I have to explode. What? I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. Jesus Christ Almighty, I learned my lesson. What lesson? The lesson of a lifetime, bro. Whose? Lilith's. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who am I? The Lilith reincarnated. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. Welcome, all you new people. Damn, you came for the fucking great grand finale, motherfuckers. The shit I'm about to pour out right now. Oh my God, Becky, you came for the good shit. Good shit. Sit down. Get ready for it. Who am I? Your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker. That's so funny. I was seeing the intro to my documentary and I have to put descriptions of what the fuck this shit means. Starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch. I was working on the music. Really? Yes. I was doing so much this morning. Lightworker, Starseed, Earth Angel, Mystic, Medium, Psychic, Witch, Yogi, Guru, Evangelist, North American Sybil. I am the messenger of God. His very first child created himself, in a feminine form, the dark goddess Lilith. In order to keep up with me, you had to see what I post on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my charts. It goes down in the DMs. Ayo. This was our cards from yesterday. I was like, oh, fuck. I don't want to deal with all this shit. And then I just dealt with it. What happened? Well, I mean, it was a very explosive morning. I got up early enough. I mean, it was a hard night. It was a hard knocks life. I woke up this morning and took a freaking baptism bright and early. And as I was sitting there getting ready and shit, the fucking fire alarm goes off. Are you serious? I motherfucking swear to Bob, bro. The kids stuck it out. They stayed in the room. I took the dog out and I went out there and saged the whole fucking neighborhood like I always do because I'm that bitch. Really, they all have to come to the front, and my car was literally parked in the fucking front this time. So it was blowing in the building at this particular point. For real? Yeah, I had to cleanse these motherfuckers of their sins. Really? Yeah. Then after that, I had all this inspiration. I was thinking about the music of my documentary, so I got my Buddha book. I'm one of those people, bro, that like I don't even need to read the book. The fucking information is flowing through me just through my fingertips. So I was sitting around carrying that, and I got all of these crazy. I don't know. I just sat down and B came out after it was all done, and I was like, the card said it was gonna be a rough and tough day. She's like, you do the cards? I was like, oh my God, Becky. Really? Yeah. She didn't know, or we just again. Like they don't know I'm creepy until they know. Then they're like, well, she's my friend. She's just creepy. Really? I don't know. She doesn't come out at night, so she doesn't do see any of my night rituals. She's a mother. She stays in with her child all the time, so she doesn't come out much and see me. And when she does, I'm not always. Actually, now that I think about it, she doesn't really catch me in rituals or anything like that. She'll catch me sitting there zoned out, dancing or something, but not during rituals, really, not like actual ritual acts. No, never actually, now that I think about it. But ever since I met her, she always was grateful. Her and her dude was like grateful that I would walk through the crowds and fucking sage everyone. Every fucking fire alarm, I do that bullshit. She'd be like, come over here with that shit. Anyways, I saw her this morning. I was like, the cards are fucking fucked off. And I was like, and I'm all stuck in my head and I'm trying to size up. How do you tell the twin flame journey? It's like, man, I was like, I've been having an affair with a married man and I had to tell him no. And I had to tell him if he fucking comes near me again, I got to tell his wife. She's like, well, you had to do the right thing. It's like, yeah, but I didn't want to end it. And I was like, realistically, and I said it in just a couple of sentences. I was like, we're just searching for love through sex. And I want more love and more sex. And that's what I said. She's like, yeah, but you had to do the right thing. And then she said exactly what I've always heard. She's like, and if he did it to her, he's going to do it to you. And I was like, yep, I know that programming. And that's where you take it in, but you take in what you want to take in and you put out what you don't, because you just like, I used to think that way. And it's like what you're saying, it's not, you have to filter the input, because it's like somebody will repeat something that you've already taught yourself not to think by. And it's like, that's negative thinking, and that's just common thinking, and that's just logical thinking, but logic doesn't come into this whole scenario. And realistically, that's, pessimistic in all ways. So then I'm sitting there and I said it and I was like, that was it. That was it. Realistically, yeah. And I posted it in my community page. I was like, we're going to talk about that, which is what? Sex. and how it is a form of love. Now, here's the real groundbreaking fucking information is throughout my experience, because they were so torturous and it was based on trauma and abuse, I never experienced love through sex. I was manipulated to give sex in the form of love. If you love me, you'll do this. Type shit like that. Really? I mean, let's not get into the whole details, but we will. Why are we doing this? Well, this goes back to last week. We knew what card was coming next in the Dark Night of the Soul. So all of this I took care of, which is what? Understanding. I was stuck in my, you know what I mean? Letting it come to an end and having maturity, which is logic over the heart. Okay, so let's just be honest. That's what both of us do. We come together and through sex, we experience a form of love. The problem is I wanted more love. Now I stood back and here was the biggest one and I laughed. It was the end of the book. I was like, but why? And he showed me this one glimpse. It's like, you are terrified of marriage. He's in a terrible marriage. Marshall's afraid of marriage. Russ will never get married. Wolfman won't get married. All of you are afraid of commitment. So yeah, I made you guys commit to the idea, think about the idea and grow up. I was like, damn. Because realistically, he put two people that don't want to be in a marriage, fucking, you know what I mean, with this fucking, this magnet of get married, do the right thing, do the right thing. That's all it is. It's God in the middle. God's trying to tell us to do the right thing. We can come together and just have the right experience, but he wants us to make it a solid experience. And through us, he's trying to teach the other Knight of Wands over there that can't commit because of their fears. Going back to Marshall, he won't even date anyone because of his commitment issues. He got us all. Everybody take a bow. And then he pointed out the people that got into commitment or that have these, you know, terrible contracts because of that. The codependent fucking karmic contracts that they're in. It was like the close to the best book. I was just sitting there like, oh my God. Really? Yeah, we all carry the Lilith. And now we experience it. And what is it? We want love, but we can only experience it surface level. But the truth is that is enough because you do really experience love through sex. Yes? Yes. But the negative, which is not negative, the dark side to it is the power and the power that you get from this experience that you use, you know, for yourself. Really? Yeah. We're going to get deeper into that, but that's the big thing. And I was sitting there, I was like, I used to sit there crying. What am I not getting with this guy? Why do I keep and that's what I said like 2 days ago. I was like, he wants what I want. And that's like what? An amazing sexual experience. Right? And that's it. That's what it is. And it's like, you're not supposed to deny that. But the truth is we're not in a position to be doing that. So says, you know what I mean? The righteousness about the whole situation. And that's what it is. All week I was like, bro, you need to just admit to this. That's what I was like, dude, one more time is not going to, if it was one time, we would have stopped one time ago or many times ago. I was like, this isn't that. And it's not enough for me. Not that we don't want the same thing, but under the fucking cloak of all his lies and all his shit he's hiding, we're not free to do what we want to do. Right? And that's all I said. I was like, what's going to happen if she finds out that there's some girl out there that wants to love you and you want to freaking give into this? And it was like, no. Well, then don't stay away from me because she's going to find out. And that's what I was like, damn, that sucks. I have to stick behind that. I said I would. I can't back out of that. I have to do the right thing. And so I'm like, I really fucking stuck a knife in this one. Really? Yeah. And this separation could go on for years. Fucking years. Really? Twin flame separation. As long as it takes him to heal, bro. This could go on for years. Really? Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. C'est la vie. Really? Isn't that sad, though? Because it's the truth. I have to do the right thing, and he won't. And that sucks. Fucking punk ass. Fucking punk ass. Not that I couldn't do it more gracefully and tell her in a more lovingly way. But the fucking truth is why did I have to be in this? Fuck you, God. Fuck you, God. He made me be the right person. You know what I mean? He put me in this. He's going to get me through this, and he's going to get me out of this somehow. And that's how I looked at it. And I think this is out of it. Just accepting it. The twin flame journey and all this is like, oh, you don't want to accept it. You're trying to figure it out. And that's what it is. It's like, I figured it out. And it was very obvious on the surface, and it blew me away. It's like, how come after all of my abuse and everything, and I don't even want nobody near me, don't never touch me, with you, I just act a fucking fool, and I just want to fucking love you in such, you know what I mean, pornographic ways. Because that's just what it is. Shut up, Pac. You okay with it? Then comes Sheila motherfucking Nagig. Dude, this is like such a harsh part of the dark night of the soul. I've never pulled it out in this card. This is brand new. We get a brand new version of something old. What is that? My fucking ovaries. I told you we're dealing with sacral energy. We're all up in the guts. Son of a monkey. At least we got a better picture, right? Picture me fucking drowning in this bullshit. I'm going to try to keep it not so X-rated. X gonna give it to you. This is where everybody loves these stories, dude. They love the sexual tragic talk. All right, whatever. This is a whole stage. I went to Sarah Dwin. Help me, Sarah Dwin. We're in Sheila Nagig. Sheila Nagig comes after. What is this, bro? It's a whole fucking chapter of shitty. She watched you as you gave your body away for fucking forms of love. She watched you give that blowjob. She watched you spread your cheeks. She watched you pull your underwear down. She watched you flush your babies into the toilet. They are the watchers. They watch the sexual experience. Not in a deviant way like you guys in your rooms, but they watch the whole thing. Now, this goes back to me and God. Let's go back to God. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, but this is the truth. God made me for Adam. And the whole outcast was because I would not have sex with that man. I did not have sexual relationships with that man. Are you serious? It's the story. Here's the story. Lovely. So that's what he wanted me to do, and I did not do it. Why? Because he was demanding. He said, for I am man, so I shall be on top. I said, no, we are equal. And that was it. And I was like, no, I ain't fucking with you. And that's where the whole story began. He made me to love him in that way. And I did not. Right? But that's what kept bringing us back throughout history. I would come back and it was just a love affair while Eve was in the other room making us food. Really? She had no choice but to accept that, you know what I mean? I came first. It's all in the stories. It's a fucking shitty ass story. It's really playing out in real life, and I don't like this story, but it's that's why I was like, why didn't I get a new life? Because I made a lot of fucking mistakes in that life, and I have to right my wrongs. Seriously, but that's kind of mean, don't you think? Because it was my first life. I didn't know what I was doing. Now I got to take all my knowing from all my doings and bring it back and tell myself what I don't know and make sure that I do the right thing. Really? Yes. That's stupid as fuck, bro. Stupid. That's why I was like, at least you get a new life, or maybe not. Probably not. You're doing the same thing as me, repeating your old lives so you can learn the old lessons of the old time that you didn't learn. So you could set time straight. Really? Yeah, and they even bring back the same famous characters. Oh my God, it's Adam from the beginning of time. And here comes his Eve and their cursed children. Everybody give him a round of applause. Really? I mean, the story is as story goes. The microwave or me? I know, I am louder than life. And I know you're going to get mad, and I'm accepting the fact that you're going to blow some steam at me, but I have my shield of God at this moment. I just feel victory. All right, first you recognize a pattern, right? Then you got to figure out why you do the pattern. What keeps bringing us together? And that's what I said. Really, but it's a horrible, honest truth is I can experience this type of love with another. If that's the only love you're ever going to give me, you realize that it's replaceable. That's where it gets sad. And that's why a lot of people can move on from partners so quickly, because it wasn't an actual intimate relationship of closeness. It was just an exchange of love in the form of lusty lust. A lot of fucking meat grinding. I don't see nothing wrong with the little bump and grind. That would be my energy. I'm sorry, this is not it is. It's Friday. It's a freaky, freaky Friday. Pull out your condoms. Here comes Pac. Pull out the condoms and champagne. We got two of America's most wanted in the same. Realistically, and that's what I said over the week. I was like, you want it, and you're like, no, go have it with him. Fine. You know this is totally possible. You know what I mean? And that's it. You want me to give my love to someone else. You know this is the highest level of my love. Ugh, doucher. So, Sheila Nagig, I don't know, let's start with the new stuff and we'll talk about it. But realistically, it comes with the real deal. There's a lot of sex sells, and you know what I mean? These women are blowing themselves off to be sex dolls and stuff like that because men are powerless to the beauty of a woman. The seduction of a woman is how that goes. And so, you know, with B saying that, that's why I was like, there's not another soul like me, is what my reply was to her. She's like, yeah, but if he'll do it to her, he'll do it to you. And I said, there's not another soul like me. In that sense is, they're always seeking outside of you for what you don't give them. Not to be ugly, but I am the full motherfucking package in that sense, right? So I don't have that sense of, you know what I mean? I lack and I have to compete and he's going to want somebody else outside of me. No, he doesn't. All he wants is me. And that's really it. And once he gets me, then he's only going to want more of me and not want anybody to have any piece of me and try to lock me in his little meat locker. Tie me up in leather and shit. Shut up. We're getting a little dirty. Anyways, it's the dirty. This is all about sexuality, birth, feminine power, feminine mysteries, your inner critic, silence, the great void, and the mysteries. The lessons we learn are choices, decisions, and reverence. Really? Yes. And the season is autumn and winter. All right, let's see what she reads in there. Where's that book? I swear I turned that off and he keeps turning it back on, Amelia. He's eating up everything, including the furniture. I mean, seriously, talk about fucking endless pit. Where'd I go to? Reciprocity. Jeez, I couldn't even pronounce that. Some people can't. You know that? They see that word and they can't. Sometimes I can't. That's what happened. I think that's what goes on with mine's memory. What's your fucking face? Royce said he had a debilitating, or he didn't say it was debilitating, but he said he had some kind of illness where he couldn't process his words out his mouth, his thoughts, or his, you know what I mean, his thoughts to his words out of his mouth. And that's where it is. Sometimes I can look at a word and I can see it, but I can't say it. I know that I'm not going to pronounce it properly. It's like, say the word, and it just won't come out properly. I'm like, I don't know what that word is. I can't pronounce it. And I just move on. I think that's what he has. Is that what you have? What is it? I don't know. It's a fucking brain fart. I don't know. You can see it, but you can't say it. That's what people have. That's like even a trauma response, dude. They can see their memories, but they can't tell you what they're seeing. Why? Because they've been silenced, bro. It's like literally they know what it is, but you can't say it. That was like me the other day. I was like, I couldn't say it. I was like, God has killed it. I was just seeing all these times where he killed away his children, like totally fucking, you know what I mean? I was like, I can't say that. I was like, he had to take the lives of his children. But I was like, dude, God's killed his children many times. I couldn't say it at that time, though. And that's what it means is like you see it, but you can't get the words out. And that's why there were so many fucking bindages and stuff. So much magical work was done against my throat chakra. Really? Yeah. Abracadabra, bitch. All right, I went to the Sphinx, but that's not where we are. That comes next. Sheila Nagig. Put up your boundaries and only let through what benefits you. Paradoxically, a boundary gives you freedom. Clear your home from negative energy. That's what I knew I had to do today, was totally fucking clean. That's what I said yesterday. Well, I guess I'm just doing laundry and cleaning my house. That's what you're supposed to do before the first of the year. For real, you're supposed to do it. It just hits you. You're like, all right, I got to get rid of all this shit. I can't. I got to get the shit off of me. Get the fucking shit. Get the shit. Really? Yeah, and then you end up doing, you know what I mean, spring cleaning. It's like a thing. I've always done it. I've recognized that I always do this type shit. Really? Yes. Clear your home from negative energy. Be proud of what you have achieved. Do not compare yourself to others. Harm none, and do what you will. If you're going through a gateway event, a special birthday, or a life event like a birth or marriage, ask for her protection. We're going through the transformation. Duality, shame, and pride, inclusion and exclusion. When walking around many ancient sacred sites in the United Kingdom, including church sites, every now and again you will double take an image carved in the mossy storm or stones. Can't even read. What you see is an old woman, a crone like figure, and she is happily lifting her skirt, and there revealed for all to see is her genitals. Say hello to Sheila Nagig. Sheilas are, as they are affectionately referred to, are depictions of the mighty crone who helps protect our boundaries and allows joyous gateways to those who wish to let through. Sheila Nagig guards the widows' gates, doors, no, it says windows, and entrances of all kinds. Having a devotional practice and that includes the protection of a new home is a wise idea. As Sheila Nagig is the protectress of gateways, she proudly flashes her vulva. It is being the primary gateway of the life. There is absolutely no shame in her nakedness, for she dances and looks you straight in the eye while she shows while she shows herself. There's absolutely, yeah, yeah. Sheila shows us that there is no shame in our nakedness, and especially in our creative parts, and we should accept ourselves in our entirety without judgment. While there is some debate about the full function of her depiction on buildings, magical and otherwise, it is generally accepted that it serves as protection, wildly carving evil, what is this? Scaring away evil spirits and enhancing fertility when she is carved into the birthstone. Sheila Nagig is an old and powerful magical energy, and as such, she is very effective to work with if you need a little help with setting boundaries, old or new. Her energy is a joyous and, yes, absolutely a little wild, and there's no downside to her vibe. The plant companion is the cottage rose, and the crystal companion is a green I don't know how to pronounce this word. Dipotzi? Okay, shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. I'm going to keep the card up and I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Your weakness and bleak outlook have invited you in to join me in the black velvet tomb for a while, for I am an enigma, a deep vacuum into nothingness. I only sought out to hide within for solace. Find yourself rejected or alone. The darkness of my womb is a welcome relief. Rest a while within the deep embrace and let me consume your gloom. You are so desperate for love, assurance, and acceptance that your self value has become null and void. As the keeper of divine feminine mysteries, I shed a tear every time you dishonored your sexuality or suffered at the hands of an abuser. Perverting your divinity will keep you locked in the deep despair, a place in which you will remain powerless. Be careful not to let the defeating silence of self blame, guilt, or primal urges to spiral out of control, as this will leave you imprisoned and desolate for only feeling the nothingness for barren company. As I read this, I remembered like one of our first experiences. I can't even describe to you the amount of shame and embarrassment and guilt. And the fact that he ghosted me, I felt that he used me. I felt like so fucking used, bro. I like didn't even understand. I couldn't possibly comprehend what had just happened. And I'm dealing with this, like, and that's where it is a part of me. Here it is, bro. A part of me came out that I had never seen before and acted a fucking fool. And then I'm sitting there left with the consequences and the feelings of what I've just done. It was horrendous. And it happens every fucking time, bro. Every fucking time we get together, dude, I will let myself free and it'll be a moment and then he'll disappear. And I'm just left with this questioning of what did I do? What happened? How come he's not talking to me? What just happened? It was a cold, hard feeling, bro. But I had to realize that, first off, again, I was forced to walk myself into this experience because I wanted this experience. I wanted to feel this feeling of love by being around him. I can tell you for full certainty from what I've seen, bro, he never initiated it. He never, I mean, he knew I guess he had full intentions that I was just this type of person. And I asked him one time, and it was a simple yes. You knew I was going to act like this, didn't you? He said, yes. I didn't. I didn't. I never seen something like that in my life. And it's as she describes. It's like, I was just trying to love you, and I threw my whole fucking body at you and did all kinds of fucking disgraceful things that I felt very proud of and was very excited to be part of in the fucking desperate attempt to feel love. I visit this stage quite often. If you can imagine, we've been doing this for 3 years, and that's where I realized, how many times have you seen him this year alone? Oh, fuck. So that's where I realized it's like, nah. This isn't getting, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. This is what we do. And I admitted it. And that's what we did. And then so I was like, are we going to do this again? Nah. We can't keep doing this, bro. Can we do it openly? What we do is not bad. It's under the fucking guise of hiding it. Some bullshit, isn't it, though? I hate my life. You guys fucking love this shit. So then I gotta be like, nah, bro. Not no more. Not no more. Doesn't mean I don't want to still do it. That's what it means to fucking wake up, and God says you got to change your ways. You got to see it differently, and you got to stand on some real ass, be the big man shit. I'm weak to this, bro. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Just lost my fucking ability to, it's like, this is some bullshit. Really? Yeah, and that was that chord. I was like, there goes my... It's not bad, though. You look at the bigger picture. It's like, no, you're doing the right thing. It doesn't feel right. You're doing the right thing. I don't want to do this. You're doing the right thing. I don't want to. You just do it. Shut up. Kobe Bryant. Anyways, let's see. Let's keep moving on to the nothingness. All right. Just keep saying the nothingness. However, Sheila Nagig will not acknowledge you, nor will she answer any question you have for her, as she is an enigma. She is a mystery of the universe itself. She expects you to solve your puzzle without direct assistance, as the answers truly lie within. You and are accessible only to you. And that's where you sit there and you sort it out. They just sit there and they're like, did you get that? It's just a fucking teacher. The guides, they're just there. Really? And that's where it all clicked. It's like, Einhorn was a man. Sorry. Oh, sorry. That was the funniest. That was such a fucking joke. Oh, God. You have to forgive me. I'm like the first child of God. I know that I'm being such a dork. The universe loves me. They're like, she got it. She got it. She got it. Really? Yeah, because I'd never experienced love through sex. And that's where it was. It's like, if you love me. And so as I'm over there, they're like, she loves me. And that's exactly how he feels. She fucking loves me. I do. I really do. I'm doing this because I love you. Let me show you how much I love you. Really? Yeah. Okay. It took, dude, guys, I could put it in a sentence, but it took me fucking lifetimes to learn this. At least this whole lifetime. We could say just this lifetime. Really? Yes. Yes. Reasons for working with her. She's a pro-creative force whose witchery expertise can be found in sex magic. I told you we were going to bring out the book. I am ready for sex magic, bro. I had to get my magic right. Shut up. I hate that guy. Who? 50 Cent? The older he gets, the more I can't stand his energy. Oh, man. God's going to make me be kind to someone like that. Or like Marshall will or something. It's like you bring your shit-ass friend and I got to be nice to her. You know that I have to be Jesus-like and you're just tempting me. I'm going to take this out on you, bro. I might not take it out on him. I'm going to be like, why you bring that fucking friend I don't like? Why you going to make me be nice? Be nice. DJ, be nice. Shut up, bro. I'm going to go rot in my fucking grave. I can't be around people because I can't be nice. I don't like him. I don't like your fucking friends. You can like them, love them. I don't care. I don't like your fucking friends. They're fucking stupid. Fucking 50 Cent is stupid. But anyways, he's supposedly, I was hearing the magic stick. Stand him, bro. Congratulations on your baby. Maybe it'll make you grow up. Stand you talking shit, talking motherfucker. What? He's just like you. Look at it. He's a spitting image of you. No, he's not. He's all blown up. Sorry. Everything that's wrong with you is pretty much me, and you're just a mirror man of what I really am. Moving on. Sex magic, fertility rituals, and protection spells. If you're brave enough to seek her in the reverence and wish to improve your witchy skills, I know, that's where it is. We're going to do some sex magic. I have a sex magic for beginners. I needed a magically, sexually delicious partner. That's all I told. He acts like, don't be acting, dude. You be acting. I'm so fucking brutal honest, you guys. I'm not, like, leading him on. I'm not. And that's what's scary to him. Like, I want to do all this, and I'm preparing for greatness. That scares the shit out of him. Yeah, I was just trying to get a little weekend. I'm trying to do this, like, all weekend long, all night long, like, every day, dude. Every other city we go. Shut up. Anyways, moving on. I needed a partner in crime in time for this type of shit. Marshall! We have an SOS. Are you up for the job? I don't think Marshall's ready for that. I talked to him about that like last year. It was literally this time. I'm like, do you have intimacy problems? How are you about getting sexual with people? Look at me, all grown and shit. I am ready to do it. It took me a year, Marshall. I mean, I didn't have much to work with, but look how far I am. You have no practice. You making love to yourself is not going to help. Don't worry, I can teach you and teach you all the wonders of the universe. Can you say this word? Kama Sutra. It's in me. Really? Yes. Yes. Universal sexual energy lies within me. God's love in the form of sex. He created me for such, and I denied it. And then I just kind of gave it away. Put it away. Then he locked me in a chastity belt. For good reasons, so that nobody could abuse it anymore. Anyways, moving on. I never really laughed through this. I'd be feeling all shameful and crying about it, but I learned my lesson, so it's not so shameful. I integrated this bullshit. And that's what it is. When I first did it, I was like, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. I was taught that way. That's literally what I told him. I was like, I was taught to do this. Like, that was like what I was taught to do. It's not bad programming. You want me to forget how to do that? I mean, I didn't know I could do such thing. It's going to be a great Friday. Freaky Friday. It's more like Thirsty Thursday. There are always choices and opportunities to those that are brave enough to make the decision. If you take the path of wholeness to Sheila Nagig, she will encourage you to do so with the awareness and honor for every step you take creates your future. However, she watched when you dishonored your sexuality, when you gave yourself up to be used like a piece of meat because you were desperate for affection, to be loved. Hey, bro, take me. I'm yours. I look back to the situation. I was like, dude, I served myself up at the altar under the full moon. For sure. I was totally, take me. I sacrificed. I gave in. I didn't. You don't understand. It was this primordial fucking desire that I would not give into. Why? Because it was shameful and you shouldn't be doing this. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Anyways, when you believe that some love is better than no love, you open yourself up to abuse. And that's it. It's better to have a good time with him. And that's, Allie, your song, bro. Told you. How dare you? You're like, it's better to have a one-night stand than stand alone. I don't know. How do you feel about that, fucking Marshall? I'm not afraid. I don't even really need to hang out with you guys. I feel like you'd be ashamed, be humiliated as I sit there making jokes in your face like this. Because your message is a clear one of desperation to be used and maltreated, it screams, I'm not worthy of love. And as much as I was screaming that at Wolfman. It's like you're over there just fucking, you know what I mean, with these you're a third, I called him. Thanks for the reminder. I called him a third world fucking country bedbug. He's a one-night stand. He can show you fucking a good time for that long. It's totally projecting on him. Really? Yes. But it's not that he isn't. And that's really what it is too. And that's where I had to admit I couldn't offer anymore. That's the only bit of love I really wanted to experience, and only with one man. That's the great part about the story everyone wants to leave out. It was astonishing. It was one man that I was drawn to in such a way. Otherwise, I had shut down his factory. I was not doing this, bro. I wasn't even sexually attracted to anyone. I had no sexual desire whatsoever. It was sexual trauma all the way. All the way that we've been dealing with for 3 years to get me to a place where I even want to have sex and could even consider someone outside of that man. I wanted to say it again. Einhorn is a man. I learned my lesson, bro. And it's weird because you look at it, the very thing that scarred me in life was sex, is the very thing that set me free. The very thing that cut me off from love is the very thing that opened me up to love again. But I had to go through all that. And that's why I was afraid when this card was going to come up, it was going to show more sexual trauma that had happened to me. I was extremely afraid of that. But it's just showing what I've done for love. I mean, it's pretty sad. But you can see how this is played out, not just in an abuse victim, but just any girl who goes out tonight and wants to have a good time and doesn't mind sleeping with you because that makes her feel good and powerful and wanted and desired. And she can go home tomorrow and be the shitty ass fucking mom where nobody admires her or thinks that she's anything. She can go back to her shitty ass job. She can go that, and she can remember that night where some man desired her and she felt the closeness, and she's still beautiful and she can still be close with someone. And that's exactly for all those predatory men that are at the club tonight looking for some pussy. They want to feel, it's not just blowing a load. They do that all day. Whoop, 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 whoop. They want to feel the closeness. They want to feel love. They want to feel sexy. They want to feel like some girl wants them. They want to feel that. It's a desire between a man and a woman or a person, humans. It doesn't even have to be same sex, bro. It's like you want to fucking desire, you want to feel safe with that person. And that's where the same sex or whatever sexual preference you have comes from. I don't feel this way with someone else. So if it was a woman, it would be the same thing, or anyone. I can't get this feeling for someone else. And that's where the sexual preference comes into play, bro. I've never felt this way for another person. It could be, you know what I mean? And then you get these weird people that are impregnating their AI dolls. They've never felt closeness with an actual person, but something about this false person makes them feel safe. Damn, bro, write that down. Something about this false person makes them feel safe. Why? Because they're already hiding their falsehood. They can hide their falsehood in this false person. So going back to the beginning, I loved Bobby, but I was too shut down to let him anywhere close to me and actually pursue a real relationship or anything at that time. But it was there, and I tried to, you know what I mean? Because we stopped, because it stopped, I had forgotten that. But when he came back, the love was still there. The same with the pattern. This is how I expressed love with him. And I was like, how can I love you so much? And all we were doing was sleeping together. Where's the relationship? I didn't realize that back then that was the only relationship I could have. And that was very special to me, to have somebody. I could live my life just like he's doing now. The karma's the other way. I could stay in my shitty life, but then I could escape and go have a night with him. And that would make me feel better. And I didn't actually need a real partner. I didn't need all of that. I just needed this much love. What happened is I wanted more love from him. And that's what keeps happening. But it's not that this love wasn't satisfying. I love this love. I want more of it. And that's where you outgrow your, you know what I mean? Fuck boy, fuck girl, whore ass, fucking feral ways. And you start really pursuing a real relationship so you can have those experiences, not just on the weekends, not with just random strangers, but with somebody every night. And I posted that. It's like, I want to be a slut for the same guy every night of my life. I want to do all those things that, you know what I mean? And I put all of that into one man for the rest of my life instead of having these little experiences. And that's where we set the Knight of Wands to rest. Because we actually honor that what we've been pursuing and why. And we're not in shame. We had to have those experiences, obviously. And that's where I was like, you know what I mean? Having sex with you, I said it really fucked up to him. I was like, I don't mind fucking you because I need the experience, but it's not going anywhere. And that was kind of hurtful to say, but it's the truth. I want to have these experiences. I enjoy these experiences, but it's not going anywhere. And that's every woman that's dealing with this dude that don't want to fucking, you know what I mean? Man up. But in the sense of he's already being a man for so many other people. And that's where I looked at the bigger picture. You got him that doesn't want to fucking be in his marriage. And I'm asking him to be in a marriage. Then you got me who's deathly terrified of fucking marriage. What did you do, God? And then I saw the bigger picture. I saw how he did it with Marshall. Deathly afraid of marriage. Let's get married. Fucking Russ, deathly afraid of commitment. You know what I mean? Fucking all of us, deathly afraid. Lewis, never been with a girl. Fucking Allie, terrified of girls because of what happened. We're all deathly afraid, but he wants us to come together in marriage. You motherfucker. I forgive you, God. I see the bigger picture. And it was no matter what, even if we didn't, it worked. We all started considering the bigger picture, something we never put in our brains before. And you can go back to Russ's post yesterday. He's trying to settle down. He really put this on. Supposedly, Mike Stud is somewhere with a wife, a man that would never settle down. Took this opportunity to try to work it out. These men that are in terrible fucking marriages are attempting to fucking actually be in love in their marriages, work them out or figure out what to do about it, but bring love into the situation. The divine feminine awakening is definitely happening. Even down to Kanye's cold ass heart. Fucking Grinch on fucking, up on the mountain somewhere. Started to come out and try to open up his heart. Yeah, the shit that comes out of that dude's mouth is some shit, but that's kind of the Grinch, he's out there blowing his horn and he tried to say apologies. I went off. I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm this, all of us opened up. We just got to keep opening up. It was a fucking long ass battle. That's where I sat here. I was like, she's going to get mad, but I don't give a shit, bro. I worked my whole lifetimes to learn this fucking lesson and to stand on it. But at the same time, not go out there searching through, go fucking everybody just because I want to feel that experience of closeness and love and blah, 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 blah. Because in the essence, I'm going to be felt. And how many times did you have to experience that? And that's really it. It's like the first time I didn't know he was going to do it. It's like, how didn't you know he was going to do it? He did it every time. And I was like, every time we get together, you do this stupid shit. So then what does he do? He fucking blocks me like he always fucking does. I'm like, I'm not mad at you because you always do this, but enough of this. And that's really it is like you'll keep going back to it till you learn the lesson. And I sit there, why do you keep dragging me back to this motherfucker? I love you. And it's all of that, but it's like, oh man, this is such a painful thing. And I learned it. It took me 3 years to acknowledge that I even wanted to even get close like that. You can go back to last year, right? There was this time. I was so astonished. It was around November, December of last year. After I got out of fucking spiritual court with fucking Wolfman, I contact him and he's like, yeah, we're gonna, something, but we're not gonna be intimate. And all of a sudden, when he sent me that message, I'm sitting there. I can remember where I was at the hotel. I'm sitting there and I just start crying. It's like he's denying me something that I don't even know. I didn't even know I wanted. And when he said we couldn't, I started crying and I couldn't understand it. So when this reaction came out of me, I realized it was something. I feel like I'm losing something that I wanted. And I had to acknowledge that that's even something I wanted. So it took all this time to even acknowledge that this is something that I wanted. Then giving into it was a whole nother thing because it's like, oh, I want to give into this, but you're in that situation. So I keep trying to get him to break out of that situation in order for me to give into my desires. And that's it. Finally, I'm like, all right, fine. I'm just going to give into the whole situation. And then I come out feeling like an asshole. Really? I mean, wouldn't you? And that's it. It's like, all right, I get it. I learned. I want this. And I have to do what's right to have it the right way or not at all. And it was really wrong. But at the same time, I didn't fully understand all that I wanted and all of the lessons to it. And I do now. All right. Those who have experienced sexual abuse or rape will know what rock bottom feels like as their safe world crashed around them and left them feeling distraught and powerless. Sheila Nagig is also witness to those whose carnal exploits are driven by insatiable sexual appetites through an unconscious search for love and some meaning of life. These acts are cry for help that often stem from a lack of nurturing and love in childhood or are carried out to prove a person's worth and to make them popular or sexually attractive. Everybody quiet? Quiet on the set. So that's really what we're kind of faced with. That's our Friday night shadow, but I already faced it. And that's why I was like, I'm taking care of this first thing in the fucking morning. And as much as I did this time, no, I could sit in this stage forever and feel bad about what's been done to my body. And that's it too. It's like, going back to the first husband, you know what I mean? It's like I was trying to keep him. I can describe the story and you already know I was doomed. It was my first boyfriend. We got together at 15 and we stayed together and he became a very profitable, popular drug lord. And so all the girls wanted him. And so I was constantly in competition and these girls were cutthroat and would do anything, you know what I mean, just to get a bag. Just to get a bag, bro. But when they saw how he treated me, they wanted that. Now I want to go back to this. I never wanted whatever he gives to them. When it goes back to fucking to Bobby, I didn't want any of this, bro. I just had this love for him. I just kept trying to keep away in respect for the situation, not even ever understanding where it came from. I just kept trying to shut it down. And I had to just keep understanding it because it doesn't go away. And that's what I told him. Run away. Go ahead. This never works. Good luck. I'll see you in fucking 5 to 10, bro. This will never go away, bro. I've done everything magically. I've done everything psychologically. You have no idea, bro. This will never go away. Really? Oh, man, I wish. I've cried about it since the beginning it started, bro. But then I can see how far it goes back. It's so wild. I'm like drained on it right there. It's like, all right, go back to that. These are cries of help that often stem from a lack of nurturing or love in childhood and are carried out to prove a person's worth and to make them popular or sexually attractive. So at the young age, you're seeking partnership with someone outside of your family because you're not experiencing that at home. And that's where they can say girls have daddy issues. They don't have a warm supporting father figure, so they're seeking that in a man. But it really stems from the mother. They want someone to love on them. They want closeness. They want protection. They want all of that. And that's where men too. Men are seeking that feminine energy. And that's where the relationship comes from. Realistically, it's not too much about them not having fathers, because our fathers would have directed us properly in how to give the love if they were there to be loving in the household. The nurturing comes from the mom, the closeness, right? So if you didn't have closeness, you didn't somebody wasn't giving you attention, you know what I mean? And that's a mother that has too many children. So then their kids start dating it. You know what I mean? They start finding connections outside of the home. That's why children run outside of the home, run to the streets. They get it caught up in the wrong crowds. They, move out of the house. They're runaways. They're all of these things. And that was me. I hated my home. So I created a home outside of my home. It starts at a very young age. You know what I mean? But all we know are the habits of the home. So we take our habits of home and apply them outside of the home. The very thing we're running from, we create outside of us because we haven't been taught anything better. As we go into other homes and around other people, naturally we adapt. Typically, we're taking it all in because we're still young and impressionable. So that's like me. A lot of my teachings come from Mexico. At 15 years old, I ran there, and they instilled a lot of their ways, their cultural ways and teachings. As I went places, I was taught, I learned things. So I took that, you know what I mean, and applied that into my life. Whereas I don't, when my mom died, I realized I was like, she didn't give me what I needed to survive without her. Like she didn't give me the knowledge and the wisdom, the understanding. Simple shit, bro. She just didn't sit down and talk to me about shit. But when I look at her as a human being, I was like, she just never did that to begin with. And she didn't know. She was always trying to figure shit out through her whole life. She didn't really grow up. She didn't start to grow up until probably her 30s, bro. She started to go back to school. She got herself a high school diploma, and then she started attending college. She started working, you know what I mean, becoming a working class citizen and not a fucking party loser on fucking welfare and shit, as my dad called her. And then, but she still had her bad habits. She would reward herself with her bad habits. You know what I mean? Like she didn't really leave it. So like, on the weekends she didn't know how to reward herself. And that's what happened to my brother. I'd watch my brother. It's like he's living a whole new life. But then, you know what I mean, when the money came in, they didn't know how to celebrate themselves. It's like one thing I watch people do all around the world. Money burns a hole in their pocket. They're like, oh, I got some money. Let's go spend it. Like it burns a hole. Like they have to do something. It's almost like it calls for them to spend it. It's really weird. I watch this. People have, it's a real saying. As soon as they get paid, they like are drawn to go give it away. It's not like on bills, like they frivolously are drawn to do it. It burns a hole. Oh, I just got paid. Let's go do this. And that's where it was. It's like they couldn't hold on to it. It was like they planned what to do with it or didn't have a plan at all, but they're going to make sure this shit is gone. And that's where it is. No, I still got like 20 bucks. We could go out. Like they'll do it until it's all gone. Really? Yeah, I've seen that. There's a lot of people that do that shit, bro. It's like as soon as they get money, is as fast as it goes because they have this, it's just, it's an energy force is how I see it. Really? Yep, they're like drawn to give it back. Like they have to give it back in some kind of way. As soon as they get it, they're drawn to give it back. Some people, as soon as they get it, they'll hold on to it, right? They're like grabbing onto it and won't let any go. They won't spend a dollar, nothing. They're like really fucking, you know what I mean? They're hiding all their money and they're fucking, under their bed or something weird like that. I'm just saying, um, behaviors, behaviors as it would be. This all comes from, childhood, bro. When I tell everyone I do shadow work, it all comes down to intensive inner child trauma healing. You don't even realize it. You have no idea how the effects of people when you were being raised conditioned you. What they said, what they fed you, what they told you not to eat and not to wear, who to talk to, what words not to say. They conditioned you where you are literally living in that's a weird thing to see. What'd you see? Silence of the Lambs, where he's making a woman's suit. It's like they put on pieces of themselves on you and you have to take them off. And that's what I describe as, you know what I mean, coming out of the tomb. You have to unravel yourself from all the things, and that's retraining yourself. It's like I know why I think this way because they told me that I was supposed to think this way, but we're not supposed to think that way according to Jesus Christ and according of optimism and fucking, you know what I mean? positive thinking. And that's where you take your new programming and you fight your old programming and you integrate it. Brainwash. Brainwash yourself with positivity and new ways of being. It happens on a Friday. God shows you an area of your life. He says, you got to change this. This is fucking low vibrational. This is the right thing to do. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, you can't just keep living like this. This is bad for you. These people suck. This sucks. That sucks. This sucks. You deserve better. And that's where it is. It's like, what will you take? It's saying you're not worthy of love. So it's saying that you don't have no self-worth when you don't go for something bigger and better. That's who came to me. Nipsey. That's who I shared last night, right? I shared a video of Nipsey. Was it Nipsey? Yep. He said, think big, bitch. Think big, bitch. Love you, Nipsey. I hadn't seen him. He came in a video. I remember. Really? Yeah. So it's like, you won't talk to that one girl because what? You have nothing to offer her. And that's what I was talking about. I didn't have shit to offer these men on the material world because I'd given it all up and they watched me. Before I did. At a beautiful house, 2 cars, a career. I was making great money. We had all the appliances and we could do whatever we want and I could pay for the whole bill. Kill Bill. And then I looked at him and it's like, I don't have anything to offer you, but it doesn't mean I'm not a bad person. I can get all of this back, but God has asked me to sacrifice it. I still have the love to give to you. And that's what I saw about Bobby. Say it as you will. How desperate was he to sleep with a homeless girl? To sacrifice his family? What we were experiencing was love, bro. And that's what people don't understand. And I was like, why did you put me in this? And that's what B said. She's like, hey, you don't want to be the woman on the other end. Bitch, I was my whole life. And I didn't understand this. I was the wife fighting for number 1 position while they were out doing all this. Why? No amount of sex I was giving them, even though I was doing the most graphic things, was making them feel loved. Why? Because I didn't love doing it. It was a forced experience, and I'm sure they felt it. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to. And then I'm running through it, and I'm doing it quickly just to fucking satisfy you, and then I'm going to run away from you after it's done. I'm sure they did not feel love in this situation where this girl, really wants the dick. I didn't really want to. I didn't want that. I didn't feel that in my relationships, bro. It was like a sex toy, all right, I'm going to the room. And that's where I have these traumas. It's like, oh, God. It's like you just got to shut off. Just close your eyes and just do what they say because you love them. And that's why I had that sexual trauma response. I would just forget it. So going back to this, it's like, let's just be honest about everything now. Let's just face what's going on between us. And that's what I said. If it was just sex, then it would stop. If it was just you know what I mean? It's not. Because that's not what I'm giving him. I mean, yeah, but I'm loving him more than anyone has ever loved him. And yeah, I also throw that, that comes into play. But that's what he's getting. And it's like, wow, fuck. That's all of us. You know what I mean? And you're not being true to yourself because you don't want to really be honest and tell this person, hey, I want you to stay for the rest of my life and never leave me. That is so fucking clingy. Well, I mean, it's the truth. You don't have babies and shit. Anyways, as you witness the change in your life and understand who you've become lately, you will try desperately to cling on to who you once were. Just like the enigma Sheila Nagig, you too have become a mystery, and you won't recognize who you are anymore. Memories will surface of you as a child and how you were a teenager and beyond, and you might feel devastated as you recall the days of freedom when you weren't a slave to your mind. Those were those cards, the 8 of Swords, bro. The pain of the recollection may urge you to take steps to get the old you back again, but that is impossible, for that person has gone and you can never go back. And that's what it is. Marshall can't go back. Lewis can't go back. Kanye can't go back. Russ, you can't go back. Fucking, as he sits there all alone in his own spirit, and I've bound him to it, he can't go back and act like this never happened. His heart desires more. You can't go back. I can't go back. We can't go back. We can take it. Like, we can't go back. All we can do is take the lessons that we learned and the gifts that we got from that experience. As I sat there, I looked at my music. It's like I can turn on. I was thinking about it this morning. It's like I could pay my fucking bill and turn on my music, and I get to re-experience that time, but I can't go back. At no time will I ever go back to that studio and record again. I can't go back to that place. I'm not that person where I could ever feel comfortable around those people again. It was a joyful time, but that time has passed. If I want to do this, I've got to do it again, alone or with new people. Lewis thinks that he's going to experience that again. He's somehow, God's going to turn on the light and he's going to be a world champion all over again. We can't go back. If you're experiencing any of the, what is this? In the meantime, you will find that the loss of identity and losing your sense of purpose will make you feel very isolated, lonely, and anxious. And that's where you've lost everything. You can't go back. Kanye can't go back to Kim. Kanye's not, you know what I mean? All of that. He can still be a father and he can still be part of each other's lives, but he can't go back. And all he's trying to do is run away from what he's lost. When you go through a trying ordeal alone, and a lack of emotional support can increase your anxiety. And that's where he latched on to a low vibrational person. He was so weak, and God brought him someone. Fucking Bubble Guppy over there. What an airhead. What do they experience? Love through sex. She gives him love through sex. What else does she give him? Just admit it. That's all he needed, was someone to stay close to him while he was being strong. Here comes Russ. Stick by my side while I'm working on me. And I literally said that through my whole video. I just want someone to fucking hold me while I figure this out. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. Just be there for me. That's the definition of codependency. We don't need someone to hold us. We need to hold ourselves through this. And then when we're not so weak, we can stand strong for someone else that may be going through what we did, or we can just stand strong through someone else that already did it too. If you don't understand what I'm going through, then you're just holding me as I'm evolving. And by the time I'm done, you won't even be able to hold me. I'll be like this big ass Hulk. Something you're no longer in love with. We want that because we didn't have that. And it's projected in our funky ass relationships outside of us. If you're experiencing any of the physical problems, yeah, you're going through a fucking dark night of the soul. Feel as though you're going mad, you've lost control, you're going to die, you're going to faint or be sick, you have incurable disease, as though everybody is looking at you and criticizing you, detached from everything and everyone. You want to run away and hide to escape your situation. You're on the edge the entire time, alert to all that is around you, and exhausted from all the above, which includes dry mouth, headaches, upset tummy, nausea, excessive perspiration, and palpitations. What comes in next? Yourself as the inner critic. Slowly, you'll begin to withdraw and you'll try to come to terms with all the changes around you and do your best to cope with the loss of the dark night of the soul at present. At this stage, you might reach your tipping point. A new gloom has descended to blacken your thoughts, and suddenly, within a small voice can be heard of the back of your mind. At first, the voice appears to be on your side, warning of danger and whom not to trust, and to be on guard. As you start to listen to the voice, it becomes more vocal, and it reminds you of all the horrible things that that have happened to you, and what somebody else has done to you. The more you listen, the louder the voice becomes, and it'll keep on and on until your thoughts are consumed with the betrayal and injustice you've just been served. Welcome to the dark night of the soul. I prepared you for this last night. Make sure you catch yesterday's video. It's the Eight of Swords. Welcome to the dark night. I told you it's just like that. Everything gets dark and you're in there reliving fucked up memories and feeling terrible. Let's see. Conversations with the past will repeat over and over, and you will try to analyze each word and how you said and excuse me, and how it was said in your mind. Soon becomes completely overwhelmed and dominates by such intensity. But that's when the niggling voice of self criticism joins in as it plays off your anxieties and causes you to question your own worth. And that's where it is. It's like you start hating yourself. The voice inside of you is just projections of somebody else's voice. You can hear the crowds looking at you and judging you for what you've done. And then you start judging you. You're like, yeah, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I'm such an idiot. I should have never done that. That's not helpful. That's self defeating talk. And it's not what you need. It happens, it's part of it. You're going to hate yourself. First, you'll hate them, then you'll hate yourself, and then you'll hate God. Really? Yeah. I've been doing this for a long, long time. Speaking of which, my tank is full. I've been drinking a lot and I really gotta go pee. This antagonistic voice of your inner critic, and it's your job to help recognize your mistakes so you can set things right. When Sheila Nagig invites you to push past her vulva, she greets you with the darkened haven of her womb. The darkness around your inner critic will go way overboard as it peeks away, scolding and shaming and fault finding and wearing down any resilience you had and completely killing off your self worth. Yeah, self-worth is internal state of being, and that's where I was grabbing my solar plexus, a measure of how you regard your value. If you had favorable opinion of yourself before you encountered the dark goddess, you may have felt deserving or worthy of beneficial things such as happiness, wealth, love, success, good health, irrespective of others' opinions of you. However, when the inner critic begins to dominate your mind night after night in those quieter moments, and eventually 24/7, the dark night takes hold of you, or takes hold as you start to see yourself in a negative and critical light. When you gaze into the mirror, who and what are you is looking back at you? Are you happy with who you are? What you like, or what would you like to change about yourself? How do you think others see you? Does it matter to you what their opinions are of you? Why is that? As your inner critic carries on destroying your self esteem, you may find that the perception you have of yourself becomes rather warped. Um, I can remember when this happened, like I had given up everything. I'd given up everything and I could feel people watching me. You know what I mean? Like as I would stop a video, it's like, what are they going to think? They think so little of me. They hate me. Like I know it. It was like, it was so bad. And I'm just trying to be brave. But I was just like, geez, I knew I looked worthless and pathetic to people. And I could hear their thoughts. And I had to stay strong and not let their thoughts become mine. But after a while, I'd start, this is all your fault, bro. Like, I couldn't blame anyone. I never can blame anyone. I try to. When you start focusing on your faults, guilt, worries, and shame instead of your positive traits, goals, and dreams, your world becomes shrouded in the negative comments. And that's where it is you really, when you go into these memories, you really hate yourself for even being there. Like, why the fuck? It's so shameful. You don't understand. You're not even seeking understanding. You already have a negative perspective on it. All right, let's talk about whatever happened with the worst memory I brought up yesterday. And I'm going to close on this note because we were talking about sexuality. I said that one of my worst dark nights of the souls that killed me is I had a memory of being in bed with my best friend's friends. What was that? He had this friend. All right, let's tell all the fucking details, shall we? He was my producer friend, and we did everything, musically together, um, and all of this stuff. And we were best friends. And then he had this best friend. Well, his best friend was actually the dope man. Let's tell the detail that we never really put into the picture. And so his best friend was at all occasions because he was supplying all the people, right? All the time, right? So that was his job. Okay. So, there's me, the promoter, there's him, the DJ and the producer, then there's the artist, and then there's the dope man. That's the role. Get jiggy with it, right? And so we're at a function, I guess, after piecing together the memories. He's doing a DJ session for the Broncos game at this bar, and I show up and we're doing it. And Osvaldo, that's his name, and his wife, what was her name? Maria, I think, is there. And something happens. We start drinking and shit, and they invite me to come to their house. And Freak Show says, don't do it, dude. Don't go to their house. Don't fuck with them. He had told me forever not to hang out with them outside of him. And I thought he was just being, you know what I mean? Whatever. He just told me not to. And usually you just, when it has to do with, you know what I mean? It's like they don't want you to, know them outside of them. When it's something like that, it's like, I don't want you hanging out with that person outside of me. It's kind of what I did, what I thought. But they invited me to come to their house and party with them over there. I never partied with them outside of groups. Never. We had plenty of social functions. I had never partied with these people outside of groups. So then I go to their house and piecing through the memories, we're drinking a lot. They're giving me a lot of cocaine. Something happens, bro. And the memory is I'm literally naked in bed with these two. And I'm mortified that this has happened and what has happened. Now, I don't remember it. Fast forward to where the memory comes from. I haven't seen Freak Show in a long time. I'm making my music. I've already released my album. And all of a sudden, I'm like, where the fuck is Freak Show? Where's my producer? How come he had nothing to do with my album? He doesn't even know I'm a singer. I've got to show him my album. So I go to his family's house to go see where he is. And they're like, he don't live here, but we'll tell him. By the time I got to the end of the street, they had called him and told him that I was there. And I'm at the light and I'm parked in front of the very nightclub that the last time when this happened. It used to be a nightclub. And I'm right there at the light getting ready to turn. And I look at this nightclub and all of a sudden I start crying. I don't know the story yet. Right? And then he calls me as I'm going through the light and he's over in Aurora and he lives out in Lakewood and he's like, come swoop me. And so I go and I swoop him and we talk the whole time and I drive him over to his house and we're sitting there. And I was like, hey, bro, I was at that light and I started crying. And this is after I told him I lost my memories and I'm trying to do an awakening and all this. And he tells me, he's like, that's because that's where they lived. And all he said was, that's where they lived. When he said that, I got the memory as I'm standing in front of him. I get this vision of me in bed with them. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm right in front of him and I'm panicking. And all I can see is the memory. And he's standing in front of me. I fucking told you, Lucky. I told you not to go with them. I fucking told you, girl. I told you. Come on, man. I fucking told you. And I'm just screaming, oh my God, what happened? What happened? It's been years, you guys. Absolute years. How many? This was before I even had these children, bro. It's been at least 13 years since I had seen him. And I am literally, and he knows the whole story. Why? Because they told him. They told him everything. They knew. I didn't know why I stopped talking to him. But after that evening, I never went back around there again. I never went back around them ever again. And so when the memory came, he had already known it, but it was new to me. And I ran away from it. And that's a pure example of what we're talking about here. What happened? I don't know. I just couldn't say no as what I'm going to come. As I looked at my patterns, what would happen? I'd get myself in situations and I couldn't get out. So I would just give in. I think is what I mean, as I look at the pattern of the childhood trauma, and then I look at the pattern of what my husbands did, right? And then I try to figure out how did this happen on my own as an adult. That's what it was, bro. Whatever happened, bro, I couldn't say no. And I just gave in. What happened? I don't know. I tried to sit there and think about it. I wanted to know what they did. I wanted to know what happened. I really did. And I made myself sick for like 3 days trying to figure out what happened in that room. All I could get was what happened outside of the room. I couldn't get how I got to the place of in the bed and what happened in the bed. How did I get my clothes off? What the fuck was I doing? What the fuck happened to me? And I was really filled with so much shame. So then I promise you, Bobby comes to my house. I haven't seen this guy in years. And I'm so excited, and I take him in my bedroom and I do some things with him and he leaves right away, and I am left with this, oh my God, what the fuck just happened? I literally know what I did, but I can't see it, visually see what I just did, and I have no idea why I did that. I have no idea. I never knew I was going to do it. I had no idea I was going to do it. Obviously, he did. He knew I was going to sleep with him by coming to my house. I didn't. I swear to God on everything holy, I was mortified. I couldn't believe I did it. I was filled with so much shame. And then I was like, oh my God, I made him cheat on his wife. All right, bro. He was definitely going to cheat. He already had intentions to cheat on his wife by coming to my house. He knew what was going to happen, but I didn't. And I felt all this shame and all this fucking blame. And I felt like a dirty, filthy whore. And why did I act like that? And I crucified myself, bro. It was like the beginning of all of my videos. I could not understand why I did it. And then I saw him again. And though I sat across from him, I was having all these unbelievable fucking thoughts and fairy tale experiences of what I wanted to do with him. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Really? I'm serious. Serious. I couldn't understand it. What is it? It's a part of me that wants to love him in that way. And it's not lust, it's love, because I don't want to do that. And it's literally love. I feel like it's love. And that was the whole message, going back to Lilith. This is what God made me to do, and how the love that I was supposed to give. And when I didn't give that love to Adam, I became a cold-hearted bitch that used sex as a way of control and power for myself. By just not submitting to the love that I wanted to give, it turned into an evil force. Really? Yeah. That's the whole story. It's from the beginning of time, but it played out in this time, and it's the end of time, and that's great. So now all we do is, like, it doesn't change anything other than it won't repeat itself, because now I know what it is. You keep calling it in until you understand what it is. Why do we keep doing this? Because this is the way to love. And that's what I said. You go way back, and I was like, something about this, guys. If I figure this out, this is the way to my holy union. These behaviors is the way to my holy union, giving in to love in this form. Because I wouldn't do it because of my experiences in this life or just past lives. I wasn't going to. Seriously? Celibacy. That's what I said. Somebody that experiences much sexual trauma and manipulation and coercion that I did, your choice was to go celibate, which I said is to be a priest or a lesbian.
Asexual.
Or she says asexual, which means no sex. Hypersexual?
It's when
oh God, here we go.
You become hypersexual, you become asexual. It happens to people.
Oh yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, because of the sexual abuse,
So
you become
obsessed with it or you hate it.
Yep.
I became hypersexual after that guy showed me porn for a while.
Yeah, dude.
And you caught me like multiple times. I couldn't stop.
And that's where it becomes. You become.
I literally couldn't stop.
See. Welcome to the beginning of it. You're like, what? Yeah, dude.
I'm a better now.
And that's where we have to realize these behaviors, and then we stop them. With that being said, that was a great teaching. That's what we're facing. We're facing, and at the bottom of this, our next card is what? Jeez. Victory, bro. I told you. I was like, she's going to get mad, but I'm in a victorious state. I learned a really difficult lesson from the beginning of time. Why God created sex and what it is and why we do such things. But we can't just be having little bits of love when we really know that we're doing this because we want real love. And that's basic. Why are you sleeping around in hopes that one of them will stay? That one day we'll have a real love? You're denying it. Just like fucking Wolfman, just like every man and woman. We're denying our sexuality and our desire for love through sexuality. Really? Yeah. Welcome. Have a great Friday. We'll talk deeper about it or more or something later.